Shalom, shalom, shalom to the Lord's people, the little ones, Lord, when this lesson is edifying, I pray that it is edifying. Double honor to the apostle of GMS. And before we begin, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. And this lesson is going to be titled The Little Ones or something around there and how to deal with them, because these are the Lord's elect, but you know them as the hopeful elect, them striving, to pretty much make that chariot, man, because we all have one common goal, man. We in this flesh. So, brothers go through different scenarios. Brothers may have, different hiccups with a different brother, whatever the case may be, because, we in the flesh, and Satan is out here, to devour us like a roaring lion, man. Satan trying to sift as wheat, man, So therefore, we gotta put on, as the elect, man, we gotta put on the whole armor of the Most High and shun these devils, man, shun these evil spirits, and all manner of wicked thoughts because you got to understand, a lot of things, you got to be able to discern, like, whether, okay, if I'm talking to a brother, if me and brother going through a scenario, is this more on the spiritual side or is it more on the carnal side, But, through the truth, you could have balance and you can know how to deal, but, of course, you want to be more spiritual. Salakia. You always want to discern yourself, because you don't want to have no offense, you don't want to give no blame in the ministry and things of those sort. But for example, like, if you got a disagreement with a brother, right? You gotta think to yourself, am I coming in the spirit or is Satan upon me, and is he putting thoughts in my head to make me look at the brother a certain ill way and have ill thoughts about a brother, So I didn't want to confuse that with carnality and spirituality. Because carnality, when you have the truth, is okay if you know how to use it, It's a balance, because we are in this flesh, For example, if you and a brother at a game, that's something carnal. If y'all at a club, that's something carnal. It's not going off, but, it's not as spiritual, So you just got to know, how you coming into things. Now, you can have a demonic carnal situation, like you arguing with a brother, right? Or you politicking with a brother, you guys got your different differences. But now you yelling at the brother, you cursing at the brother, you can't see what the brother's saying, That's Satan in the way, clouding that discernment and that judgment. But those are just small examples, But this is just, brotherly etiquette. Lord, when this lesson is edifying, I pray that it is edifying. We're going to open up with the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. That's not what I wanted to open up with, Salakia. I wanted to open up with the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 6. That's beautiful that these two precepts are in the same scripture, though, same chapter. And it reads, "But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believes in me," who's that? That's the elect, the hopeful elect as we know them now, brothers in the truth striving, putting forth, "It were better for him that a millstone were hanging around his neck and were drowned in the depths of the sea." And everyone knows what a millstone is. What a millstone is. It's something that's pretty much, it's a burden. It's something that could hold you down and weigh you down. It's something that's made of thick, could be cement, could be clay, but it's something that's used to break down things, So therefore, it's not like a light thing. It's not like a Lego. Lego ain't gonna kill you if it's on your neck in the sea. The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. "Then Peter came to Yahushua and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sinned against me? Up to 7 times. Because, in this flesh, Satan can hop on a brother and a brother offend you, man. You feel a certain, or shit, Satan can hop on you. Now you in the feminine spirit, or now you in a more like, you in a more offensive spirit, any little thing could, make you feel some type of way. And now you feel, some type of way. So, you got to be willing to forgive brothers, man, and move past things. Because if you're not willing to forgive brothers, should Yahushua be willing to forgive you of your sins? And you cannot say your sin, because if you say that, that's just another sin. As we know in the scriptures, thus said the scriptures. And he says up to 7 times, as we know, that's completion, man. 7 is the amount of days that the Lord took, to create this completed earth, this completed life that we have. Even though our life isn't fully complete because of the side that we're on, the curses, but, you guys get what I'm saying. Yahushua answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 70 times 7 times. So a complete number times another complete number. So that means completely, And that's kind of spiritual, because let's do 70 times 7. I thought it was going to be something around the 144s or something like that. Salakia, but the next precept I have lined up. So you want to watch your mouth, when you're around brothers and when it comes to different things. Another thing is, you know, with having etiquette and discernment is you have to understand every brother is not the same brother, man. You know, the same way, you know, in the human, they say there's a study done that pretty much in human dialogue, you know, human politics, you know, not everyone talks to everyone a different way. You know, they speak to everyone in a different tone of voice. Like, you're not gonna speak to your mom how you speak to a brother. You're not gonna speak to your brother how you speak to a homeboy. You're not gonna speak to a homeboy how you speak to your boss. You know, so you get the gist. You know, you have to kind of get that feel. You know, how do you reside and how do you get your word across? You know, as a man of the Lord, or as a man, you know, in general, but more so as a man of the Lord. You know. So you got to come in different pitch. You got to understand, hey, what might offend that brother. You got to know better that, hey, you can't play with that brother around like that. You know, everybody's different. You know, we wired differently. It is what it is. But to back up my point, the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 16, but shun profane and vain babblings. You know, so don't be talking out of your ass. Don't just be talking, you know. Even when you're off the yayan, you know, you always want to have discernment. You don't want to have your lips slipping. Now you're talking about Jesus, you know. That's off. For they will increase unto more ungodliness. So you got to nip it in the bud, or else it's going to turn into a pretty much a domino effect, a snowball effect. Romans chapter 12, verse 10, be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. You know, so you got to be willing to put a brother over you, man. You got to be willing to be lowly, take the low. You know, you got to be able to look at a brother, you know, like a king, man. You know, and for me personally, how I look at it, because of my situations too, I won't get too in depth, but, you know, like, let's say we're in a scenario with the camp, right? And, you know, the Lord asked me, you know, who all should come on the chariot, or he gives me the ruler or the dominion, you know, to like line us up or whatever the case may be, which, you know, I'm hypothetically speaking, you know, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it will happen. You know, but I would put every brother in front of me, man. Sincerely, man. Every brother that do the work with me, you know, side by side of the camp, you know, sincerity and truth, I will put them before me, man. Lord willing, that spirit, you know, will continue to be upon me. I wouldn't want to go first, man. You know, of course, I'd damn sure right, I want to get on that chariot. But I would be, you know, humbled, and I'd feel better, and I would want to put brothers in front of me, man. You know, because shit, that's honor. That's great, man. You know. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 1, let brotherly love continue, man. So shit, let that, you know, don't let Satan continue, man. Don't let division continue. If division come up, you nip it in the bud and you go about it as men, you know. You set your differences aside, you talk it out, you fight it out, whatever the hell you got to do. You nip it in the bud, you let brotherly love continue, man. Because you got to understand, we not in this thing for fun, man. This ain't the hood. This ain't your homeboy. This ain't class. This ain't college. This not football. This is the Lord's business, man. This is the highest office in the world. And it doesn't seem as so because the world we're in right now is demonic, but we're coming into a translation. So, you know, you understand that, hey, you know, this is not a light job. You know, this is not a light sacrifice. This is a major thing that we're a part of, you know. So you got to be able to deal with people accordingly, because if you be in a problem, you have one bad apple spoiling the bunch, we got to throw you away. And that's not what you want. You don't want to get cast into a sea with a, you know, even though it's figuratively speaking, but you don't want to get judged. You don't want to get, you know, you don't want the Lord to cut you down because you being unwise, unbrotherly, and satanic, demonic. And to conclude this lesson, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40, let all things be done decently in order, man. So in other words, you know, have patience. Have respect, have etiquette. You know, when you at a brother's house, treat it like it's your house. You know, if you make a mess, you pick it up. You know, you try to clean it up. You know, when you're into a brother's car, you treat that car like it's your car. You know, you don't leave trash behind, things of those sort. When you're around a brother's woman, man, you treat her like a sister, man. You don't look at her crazy. You don't talk to her crazy. You know, you get in and up out the way, man. What another example could be? When you're around camp, man, if a brother need a precept, grab a damn precept. Brother need a drink, grab a damn drink. Brother need incense, give him an incense. You see trash around a brother, take the trash, you know, do what you got to do, man. You know, it's so much we could do, you know, even the little things count. But Lord willing, the substance edifying. I pray that it was edifying and it reached, all you brothers, and it makes sense, But come on, man, you gotta realize whenever you're having divisions between a brother, it's either you have Satan on you, the brother may have Satan on them, or I think I'm going too deep with this, so I'm gonna probably cut it off pretty soon. What I was gonna say is pretty much one of you guys are not in the spirit, and that's really it. One of you guys got to not be in the spirit, because it can't be yourself, your natural self, your innate spirit. Unless you're not of the elect, your innate spirit is to be spiritual. Your innate, your inner spirit, your natural state, is to be, brotherly. So you gotta understand, if out of the blue, a random blue, right, blue moon, you start tripping, you gotta face the fact, look at yourself in the mirror. Satan hopped on you. If you got to go on the fast, you got to go on the fast, brother. If you got to pray, you got to pray. If you got to ask a brother for forgiveness, you got to ask a brother for forgiveness. But you got to have that humility and that discernment, So it doesn't turn into that snowball effect. You don't want your whole house to burn on fire, If you got a fire on the stove, you want to knock that shit out, throw away that pot, clean that debris on the stove, and keep the rest of the house, right? So Lord, when it says edifying, straight to the point, call on Ahchyam. Shalom.